Your mind is stronger than your feelings. Your feelings are like the sand. They kind of shape themselves around all that affects you. But your mind is like steel. It doesn't bend. It doesn't have to be flexible. It makes a choice, and that's how it responds to situations. So if you continue to feed your mind will shape your feelings. And that's how you want it. You do not want your feelings to influence your mind. Really, it's not always possible. We call that a lesson learned. And the lesson learned begins here, based on what you see and based on what you feel. So when you try to do the opposite, using your feelings to control your mind, you come into what we call a conflict. So to avoid the conflict, let the mind understand how the feelings need to be controlled. The absolute easiest way to find happiness is to associate with happy people. If you spend your time around negative thinking people, you'll be just like they are. If you spend your time seeing failure instead of solutions, then that's the way you're going to think. That's how you're going to live your life. So to find happiness, find happy people. When we say happy people, we do not mean people that are just smiling all the time. We mean people who have an inner peace amongst themselves, a peace that allows them to help and respond positively to other people. So if you can't always respond positively to whatever the truth is, that's because you're unhappy. But all that needs to change. And you can't necessarily change it on your own. You have to change it with association with other people. Your mindset is everything. It is clarity. It is who you are. It must be protected at all costs, and it must be understood at all levels of input. If you read a book, it distorts, it changes the way you feel about something. At the end of the day, we're all just people, and as people, we respond to the environment. So you want to have a strong mindset? Pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention also to who is around you. Know the people you're with, because people are able to influence you without you even realizing that you're being influenced. And if you're associating with people that tell lies, that influence will trickle down, just like mathematics, into your mindset. Keep your mindset protected at all costs. It identifies who you are. This is something definitely worth talking about. You can change your programming. We call this programming gene expression. You are what you eat. You've heard this. You can change the DNA, the movement of all these molecular bodies within your body by changing what you eat and your focus. How many times have you eaten a meal and it's made you feel a certain way? To some people, that way that you feel is what we would consider to be a trigger. In other people, it may not be as noticeable, but it does change the way you feel deep inside, and that means it changes your responses to life itself. So your programming is based a lot on the environment, your senses, what you smell, what you see, what you listen to, and also what you eat. Change your programming, but be careful. You just can't get around it. The only way to change your life is to change the way you think about your life. There are just some people who believe that stealing is okay if there is a pandemic or if there is a crisis going on. They said they justify things in their mind to, well, I'm not stealing, I'm taking care of my family. No, morals never change. Mindsets are changeable because mindsets are based on how we feel. And our mindset could change several times a day. So we need to lock the mindset down with something concrete, something that's real, something that's permanent, something that can hold water. You can't have a mindset that just goes from this way or that way. It has to be consistent. It has to be focused. So you must know what you want to change for. You can't just say, I want to live a better life. You need to be specific. The only real way that you can master your energy is you have to pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to what feels good. Understand what feels bad. So in my particular case, as an example, I like sweet things, but they don't make me feel good. When I eat sugary things, I lose my energy. So now that I'm aware of this, I've limited my sugar to the point that now I'm not eating sugar. So not eating sugar allows me to have more energy, And with more energy, I can accomplish more things. As I accomplish more things, I feel great inside. So it's like the energy renews itself constantly, and I'm able to become a winner. You can do the same thing. Just pay attention to yourself. It may not be sugar for you. It might be other things. It might be some other triggers in your life that you need to pay attention to that are draining your energy. This is all about maturity, being aware, being conscious of who you really are inside. Self-discipline, it's a skill. It's being able to tell yourself no and also being able to tell yourself yes. It means you are in control. It means that you realize that you are larger than your own problems. Yes, you really are. A problem is losing your leg. It's gone forever. A situation is springing your ankle. It's repairable. It's something you can treat. Life is full of situations, not problems. So when you change your mindset to fit the situation, we call this growth. A growth mindset is like water in a bucket. The top of the bucket is always open, always ready to receive. Your mindset doesn't necessarily need to be focused on anything specifically other than achievements, other than moving in a successful direction. When you're constantly doing this, you create what we call a rhythm. And as the rhythm continues to play its role in being progressive, it doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what you put into the bucket. It's always going in the positive direction. So just think positively and also think with a mindset of being able to have more and to do more, but at the same time, always respecting others. You become an entrepreneur with an idea. The first idea is to realize that working a job only allows you to get paid what the job is worth. When you are an entrepreneur, you pretty much are able to predict your income. So become an entrepreneur. Set your own terms. Set your own boundaries. Change your boundaries. Do this today. Do that tomorrow. Choose. An entrepreneur is a person with an idea. The idea is what you are using to become a success. Never forget this. A mindset shift is a necessity, but it begins with the power of knowing that there is something greater than you. You have to be a student in life of many different things. Be a student. If your interest is in art, then be a student to color. You don't directly have to be a student to the art, is what we're saying, but you need to be a student to what creates the art, what makes the art visible. For example, if you're a sculptor, become a student to cement, concrete, putty, whatever it is that you're using to create an image with. When we say this, this is like the beginning of where the power exists. So you have to go to the root, the source of what it is that you are actually involved with. You have to be cautious about it to the sense that you understand where the power really is. And once you master this, your mindset becomes unstoppable.